Amy, can you add anything to it?
The country is Liberia. The capital is New York.
Okay, good. Purpose of the country. Purpose of the country. Grayson.
So freed slaves to like have a fresh start. Go back to like their home-ish.
Okay. And I like the way you said that, home-ish. What was the purpose of the National Road? Gracie, you're going to go see it this weekend, aren't you? Yeah. You're not going to some tournament down in or over in Illinois?
We're going to the far out place of Halifax.
Halifax, home of the Wildcats.
But they're wild, all right.
Hence the name. So, National Road. I stalled about as long as I can, talking about Gracie going on a trip, Wildcats, Nobody knows. Amy says, I know. Go ahead, Amy.
Well, they needed the National Road to help with the movement of people, materials, and goods.
Okay, Gracie, anything you were going to add? Okay, immigration, migration, yep, sure. Ella, something to add? Everything you said is correct. All those, I'll give you an A for every answer. If you, I'll give you an A plus if you add one other piece to all that. Maggie.
The one between states.
Yeah, I mean you're still at an.
Really long.
It was really long. It was between states. Yeah. Go ahead.
Federal and state money paid for it.
Agreed. Yes. Okay. All those are perfect answers. I don't know how to give you a hint without giving it away. Ella.
It aided Manifest Destiny.
There we go. It aided Manifest Destiny. Yes, aided in Manifest Destiny. Tell me about the Erie Canal, other than there is a great song. It was nowhere near as good as Sarah's national anthem, but it's up there. Okay. Clinton's Big Ditch, yes. Georgia, what else about it?
I have Buffalo to New York. Buffalo to
Buffalo to Albany.
Oh.
And if you count the extensions on it, it actually would go eventually the whole way over to New York City. Although to New York City, it doesn't connect to New York City because New York City is on an island, so there's no canal that goes there. Tom Thumb. Give me the Tom Thumb. Maggie, what were you going to say before I said Tom Thumb?
I was going to say it was the biggest industrial project in the Western Hemisphere in the last 4,000.
Did anybody figure out what was the one 4,000 years ago? We've never been able to figure it out. I haven't. But I'm looking at a group of geniuses, so I figure you can figure it out. Okay, Tom Thumb, what's the deal there? Georgia.
What's the first locomotive?
Why did some not like the railroads? Why did some not like the railroads? Go ahead.
Too loud.
Too loud. Amy.
I was going to say some people thought it was the devil's invention.
Yeah, they call it the devil's own invention. What else? What do you have to do? Go ahead. Pollution, yes. Go ahead.
Well, it takes a lot of resources to build the railroad and stuff, and then you're like killing trees and stuff to make and like destroying resources.
Yep, absolutely. What's the deal with the Rockville Bridge? Rockville Bridge. Go ahead. Okay, good. And let's pick up with good answers, by the way. Growth of industry, one of the biggest outcomes of 1812. National economy, Manifest Destiny is highlighted. And by the mid-century, manufacturing surpassed what in value? We hit that at the very end yesterday. I think that's on page 6. It is. Good.
Agriculture.
Agriculture. What did Eli Whitney invent, everybody?
Cotton gin.
And
Interchangeable parts.
for rice.
good. Yes, in the rifle industry. Take a look at the screen one more time. Very important. Okay, let's read through that. Gracie, please.
Cotton is king, Eli Whitney. Transformed interchangeable parts into a factor of cotton. What impacted cotton slavery?
It actually increased slavery. Yes, actually increased slavery. Who established the first factory? Kind of skip that next question. Let's back up though and hit that one. What were companies now able to sell? Good.
Shares of stock.
Yeah, stocks, which means basically ownership of the company. Okay. All right. Who established the first factory system then, everybody?
Samuel Slater.
The
Trader.
trader. All right. Let's read the screen there, please. Evelyn, if you would, please.
Sam Slater, father of the American industrial system, a phrase coined by Andrew Jackson. The UK used called Slater the Trader because he brought British textile technology to America to modify it for the United States use. Their textile machinery as an incentive to pioneer in the British industry. Returning to the United States at the age of 21, he designed the first textile mill.
And keeping in mind, textile refers to the cotton industry. Okay, textile is cotton. All right, that's what you want to think of. All right. So, what emerged as the country's leading manufacturing center? Nobody got that far? Ella. New England, yes, New England. However, improvements mostly happened in the North. Why did the South oppose the American system? That's not on your handout. At least I don't think I put it on there. I didn't. So why did the South oppose this? Go ahead.
Because it took focus and money away from agriculture.
Okay, I'll go with that. What else did it do? There's other answers we could say. Why did the South oppose it? Remember the poor guy's back was breaking? What was breaking his back? Good.
Taxes.
The tariff. Tariff hurts the South, yes. What else about the American system? Think about what the American system is. Look at the poster. What are we doing? What are we building? What are the parts of it? Maggie.
Maybe like a railroad, like do something.
I agree, but the key answer would be some. The railroads and canals were built where? In the North. Okay, that's what you want to understand. It definitely impacted the North. It helped. Scribble that down. Don't daydream on me here. Impact the North. Help the North. Manufacturing's in the North. The canals, the railroads, and most of the roads. Remember where the national road is. It's not in the South. Okay? So it really did benefit the North and not the South. And in some cases, it hurt the South. Again, if you're going to ask me then, why did two Southern politicians support it and design it when they knew what would happen? I don't have a good answer for you. Okay? I don't have a good answer. All right? So let's take a look at this. And let's make sure we understand this. All right? Sarah, if you would, please.
Why did the South oppose the American system? South opposed paying for roads and canals that brought no direct benefits to the South. Railroads were mostly built in the West and New York and in North. The South opposed the tariff because they relied on imported goods, mostly from Britain, and the tariff would make them pay more. Also, the tariff protected the market.
Okay, and make sure you understand that. Make sure we have that. All right. So take a look at this, and you can see really a glaring discrepancy between the North and the South. Okay. Just take a minute. Look at that. The numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. Almost 3 times as many railroads, manufactured items, firearm production. I just put that one in as an example. But I'm sure if you look at other industries, in addition to firearm production, like wagons, things like that, you probably would have more in the north. Now, cotton, yes, the South, cotton is king. We took a look at that as an assignment. All right. Let's read the last 3 lines there. Okay. Let's take a look at the last 3 lines. Maggie, please.
Like the caption at the bottom.
Yeah. Yep. Please.
The South built railroads, but not as many as the North. They were short, local, and did not connect all parts of the region in a network. Thus, the South grew more slowly than the North, and only about 1/3 of the nation's railroads were in the South.
Okay. Labor. What types of labor did the Lowell Mills recruit? Let's take a look at this. Now that is on your handout. Amy, please.
They mostly recruited young farm women.
Yep. Young farm women, lived in dormitories, etc. What was the child labor like? Good.
7-year-old children and up were forced to work in the factory mills.
Yep. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the next one then. What led to worker discontent? Amy.
Terrible working conditions, terrible pay, and long hours.
Yeah, mostly if you see any type of worker discontent, like if workers go out on strike, it's usually over pay and maybe benefits, which, is part of pay. And certainly working conditions could be thrown in there as a reason for worker discontent, yes. So the workers tried to unionize, that's what a labor union is, and how successful were labor unions? Ella, what do you got?
They weren't successful.
Yeah, not really successful at all. Okay? Not very successful at all. All right, before we go any further, take a look at the pictures and see what's going on in Lowell, Massachusetts. Now, I said textile is, you want to think of what? Cotton. Where is Lowell at? What state? Massachusetts. Where are they getting their cotton?
Probably the South.
The cotton was actually shipped to the north, and then it was put into these mills. Okay, that's actually what happened. Now, you really want to know this. This is big on U.S. industrial history. Lowell Mills, it was not great for the workers who were there. It was very harsh life. But you really want to know this. I'm not too worried about the first name, but that's fine. And the factory is born in Lowell, Massachusetts. He created a manufacturing enterprise, introduced mass production of cotton cloth to the U.S. Why do you think this is so significant? Besides industry, think about this. Why is this important besides industry? While you're writing all that down, why is this so important? It's not so much with this slide, it's the one that I just showed you. Look at your answers there on the page. Who worked there? Amy, catching on?
Yeah, I was going to say that it helps to make the labor laws what they are today, specifically with all the trouble that they have, especially with the working conditions and whatnot for the women.
I agree with that, although a lot of that's not going to happen until really well into the late 1800s when we're going to have the progressive movement. I agree, though, they did look at this. There's something else, though, I think that was more immediate. Aiden, you had your hand up.
Well, they had like young women working there, so it got them jobs. And
That's what I want you to know. And I cut you off. But I want you to think that through. Encircle women, underline it. The women coming out of the homes to work in non-traditional female roles. This was big. Harsh conditions, yes. Tough life, yes. All that did happen. But this was big. Okay? This really was a turning point, all right? And I don't use that term lightly. as far as women. Okay, regarding women. Lucy Larcom was one of the women who worked in Lowell Mills. Let's take a second and read through this. Lucy Larcom. Evelyn, can you be Lucy, please?
Confinement at the mill became very worried. In the sweet June weather, I would lean far out of the window and try not to hear the unceasing flash of sound inside. Looking away to the hills, my whole stifled being would cry out, "Oh, that I had wings."
Man, what are you saying there, Evelyn?
She doesn't want to be there. She wants to get out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're stifled, that means you're quieted. Okay? You're really, for lack of a better way of saying it, you're smacked down. Okay? And suppressing everything. Okay. Lowell Mills did actually have the first strike in American history. It was not very successful. Although it did lead to some other events. But I do want you to know that and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail there because it wasn't really effective, but you did see a worker strike there. Then what happened is they just simply replaced the workers with immigrants and other women. Okay. If you look at this last two lines, we'll just take a look at this. The failures of the two Lowell Mill strikes served as a catalyst for the establishment of the Lowell Female Labor Reform Association. And that is a union. That was a labor union. Okay? And that's important. I want you to keep that in mind. Labor unions are important in industrial history. Okay? Okay. We're going to play Who Said This? Besides Bryson, who's going to read it? Please.
That system has had a wonderful success. It has more than realized all the hopes of its founders. It has completely falsified all the predictions of its opponents. It has increased the wealth and power and population of the nation. It has diminished the price of articles of consumption and has placed them within the reach of a far greater number of our people than could have found means to command them if they had been manufactured abroad instead of at home.
Who said it? Besides Bryce. Bryce is going to answer it. Go ahead.
Maybe Francis Lowell.
No. Good guess, though. Go ahead.
Some politician.
Can you be more specific? Bill Clinton? I mean, what? What were we talking?
Someone that was
Go ahead.
involved with the
What
politics.
letter does your name start?
No. Go ahead.
No, never mind.
I feel like it could be like Eli Whitney or Daniel Slater.
Hey, and good guesses also. We're not there yet. Ellie, you going again?
Does it have to do with the American system? Like, is
No,
that-
you tell me.
I thought that that's what he was referring to. I mean, it was Henry Clay's American system, but you've got three politicians who were in favor of it. So was it one of those three?
Let's read at the top there. Aiden, go ahead.
Clay first used the term the American system in 1824, although he had been working for its specifics for many years previously. Despite this uneven success in gaining passage of all the aspects of the American system, Henry Clay was proud of the plan. In a speech in Cincinnati in 1830, he declared,
And we're not going to read it again, but understand he's obviously praising his American system. When he actually first proposed the legislation, he didn't call it the American system. That became a title. Believe it or not, that actually the South called it that in sarcasm. They said this is supposed to be an American system and it only benefits the North. It was actually done as a derogatory term, okay? So, but of course, I want you to know this as our final note then. Opposition to the proposed American system was a result of, and I want you to know that, regional interests overriding national concerns. And I want you to be able to explain what that means. So let's take a look at it. What does that mean? Regional interests overriding national concerns. Go ahead.
There was were so worried about what's happening just around them, they didn't like think about the impact.
Okay, and that first part, then, what do you think they were worried about? You said about them, which
Not having money.
okay, I'll go with that. Ella,
I think the opposition came from the south, and they were talking about the north and their regional interests, and it wasn't thinking about both the north and the south. They were only thinking about themselves and around them.
okay, very good. I agree. All right, go ahead into Canvas. Let's take a look here.